Hello everyone and welcome to part 9 of the Basic Training Booster Pass Edition. Today we're going to cover everything you need to know to play New York Minute on 150cc. We are once again going to be using our tried and true try-hard build of Waluigi, Bitty Buggy, Azure Rollers, and Paper Glider for this track. Start holding down the item button before the run begins so that you can use your mushroom as early as possible, and then we're going to be doing a series of alternating right and left drifts. Both of the left drifts should be taken at kind of a wide drift angle so that you don't run into the walls or the off-road, and both of the right drifts should be taken kind of tightly so that you can correct your lines. You can also do a single left drift to make this bit less obnoxious, but in either case, once you get to the dirt section, wait until you get to the top of this first hilly bit, and then start a wide left drift, tightening it up once you make it around the right-hand side of the Goomba. As long as you follow that pretty simple setup, it shouldn't be too difficult to grab all 4 of the coins here, but you might need to widen your drift angle a bit to do so. After that, build up another mini turbo, grab coins 5 and 6, and prepare for the mushroom cut. This section is honestly really annoying. The idea is to use your mushroom to cut the grass, and then to go into this little alternate path bit on the right. Once there, do a right hop into a left drift to grab the 2 coins, and then do a right hop into a right drift to come out of the alternate path. The problem is that what I just showed you is almost certainly not the best way to take the cut, but there aren't a lot of good examples on how to actually do this properly. The current Waluigi Wiggler Shroomless record builds up a mini turbo and then does a left hop over the grass into a right drift, but because they're not using a mushroom, we can't really use that same setup here. The actual world record uses baby strats, so again, the setup doesn't really apply. The way that I do it is pretty much the most consistent way that I could find to make it through this part of the track without slowing down too much, and it's really the only part of the track that should give you much difficulty. After coming out of the alternate path, we're going to do 2 left hops to help us approach this next right turn from a wider angle, which will allow us to more easily build up a super mini turbo. Similarly, for the next turn, we're going to do a left hop into a wide right drift, which will help us widen our lines enough to grab the coins while building another super mini turbo. Now we're on to lap 2. The first part is nothing special, just build up a mini turbo around the first turn and then do a right hop into a right drift to build up a super mini turbo while taking tight lines before going in reverse through the dirt section. Because the dirt is so slippery, you can actually hold a pretty hard right for a lot of this turn, which will help you build up an ultra mini turbo before going into the straightaway. After that, we're going to make our way through the alternate path bit again, but since we don't have to deal with the shortcut this time, it's actually quite a bit more straightforward than it was on lap 1. Just a right drift into a left drift into a right drift. Other than that, lap 2 is pretty much the same as lap 1, so let's move on to lap 3. Not much to talk about here either, since it's mostly what we've already seen in laps 1 and 2. Instead of going into the dirt section like we did on lap 2, we're going to build up an ultra mini turbo around this turn and go under the bridge like we did on lap 1. This means that we're going to have to deal with the shortcut once again. And just like before, I'm pretty sure that the way that I'm doing it isn't really that optimal, but it is consistent. After using your mushroom to cut through the grass, do a left hop so that you don't run into the wall, and then sort of right drift and build up a mini turbo. Trick off the top of the stairs, land in a right drift and build up another mini turbo. After that, just turn your joystick to the left to drive towards the next set of stairs and trick off of it. Make sure that you land in a right drift because we're going to do a slide trick off of this last ramp by waiting until the mini turbo boost runs out before doing the trick. If you're not really sure what I'm talking about, I've got a video going over this tech in a lot more detail that I'll put in the description. But with all that, all you have left to do is build up an ultra mini turbo around the last turn to finish up the run. That's all the strats. Let's check out my current personal best while I talk a bit more about the track. By the way, if you found the video helpful so far, please don't forget to click the like button and leave a comment to let me know, since this helps my videos get spread to more people looking to improve at the game, which is by far the best way to help out the channel. Now, New York Minute. What can I say? I mean, really, what can I say? There's not that much I have to talk about with this track. All in all, it's a pretty mid-tier track for me, maybe lower mid-tier at best. The problem is that there's basically no shortcuts to take, and no gliders that you go off of. So there's basically nothing in the way of advanced strategies that you can do to save time, aside from that last slide trick, but even that is only going to be saving you a few hundredths of a second at most. I showed some footage from both the current world record and the current Waluigi Wiggler Shroomless record, both of which I've linked to in the description of this video if you want to check them out after you're done here. One thing you'll notice is that the Waluigi run, which again is using a suboptimal build and suboptimal strats, is only like 3 seconds behind the current world record. So that should give you some indication as to what I mean when I say there's not that much to talk about with this course. All that being said, there are a few positives that I can talk about. I don't know why, but I just like the way slippery courses feel to drive on, and between the dirt and rainy street sections, pretty much the whole course is slippery, so that's always fun. The other nice thing is that similar to Electrodrome, you can get pretty close to the world record by just driving good lines. However, unlike Electrodrome, this course isn't really that beginner friendly due to the aforementioned slipperiness, so I wouldn't really recommend grinding this course out very much until you've already got a decent handle on how to do soft drifting and stuff like that. I also really enjoy the music for this course. I was expecting some Tokyo Blur style big city music, but instead we get hit with this like 1920s, 1930s swing vibe, which was both unexpected and awesome. And that's everything you need to know to play New York Minute on 150cc. All in all, like I said, pretty mid-tier course, but still fun to learn. I hope that this video helped you out, and again, if it did, then you can help me out by dropping a like and a comment on this video to let me know. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to do some basic training, and as always, I will see you in the next video.